Hey readers, it's Mrs. Decker here for Book Buzz number 4. This week I'm really excited to share with you a book. It is called The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle. This book is by Leslie Connor, and here's what's really neat about this book. If you're interested in reading it, there's 2 different ways you can access this book for free from your computer. We also have copies, I think, in Preston's Media Center, but you could read this today if you're interested. You just go to Preston's digital library, which is linked in Google Classroom. And we have this book available through checkout on Hoopla. Just look for this picture. Also, it is on the Preston 6th grade favorites list. And if you click on that, you could even listen to it by audio because our very own Miss Schlehuber and Mrs. Winey have recorded the chapters of them reading this book aloud. It's that good that we have it in 2 different formats. So you can even check out the book and listen as you're reading it, whatever you want to do. Here's why I love this book. This book is about Mason, one of our title characters, and he is like the sweatiest kid in his whole grade. And people sometimes, he's also the biggest kid in his whole grade. Everyone knows he can barely read or write, but he has the biggest heart of any kid you'll know. And he really doesn't stress about some of that struggle with reading and writing because he's been dealing with some of his own grief in other parts of his life. About 15 months earlier, before he starts narrating this book, he lost one of his friends, Benny Kilmartin, in an accident. And even though he's the most honest kid you'll ever meet, he doesn't understand why the lieutenant keeps coming back and checking in with him and wanting to know more about his story because he's telling the truth, but for some reason the lieutenant just doesn't believe that everything is adding up. Well, as the story goes on, he and his new friend, who is also a really neat kid, his name's Calvin, he and his new friend Calvin start to form a friendship, and they really have to endure some bullying from other kids, so much that they kind of create this little underground hidden area where they can just be themselves. Well, something happens and Calvin disappears. And now, more than anything, Mason just wants his friend Calvin to be okay and for him to be maybe more understood by the people in his life. This book will make you laugh out loud, don't you know? But it also will make you, like you'll be at the edge of your seat wanting to know what's gonna happen next, and you just root for this character the whole time. So if you're interested in a fantastic book about a middle schooler who stays true to himself, even through some of his challenges, then pick up this book. It's called The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle.